Shalom. Welcome to another edition of Great Millstone Mailbag Extra, coming to you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Bahashem Rakakwadash. All praises and glory is due. Now in this edition, I'm going to call this video Teaching the Truth Correctly and Directly. And it's based upon the scripture here, 2 Timothy 2:15, and based upon the Greek word for rightly dividing, which I will go into. Also, it's based upon a quote, this video from Bruce Lee, and a lot of quotes that Bruce Lee made is based upon scripture. The inspiration was based upon scripture, Holy Scripture. Because when you read the quote, you can see the element of the scriptures in it, in the quote. And that's one way we know that Bruce Lee had to have been a Hebrew Israelite. Okay? Don't concentrate on that finger. Don't concentrate on the way he looks. Concentrate on the spirit of the man. All right? And a lot of his quotes was filled with edification, and this is just one of those quotes right here, which I'll feature in this lesson. Also, it's based upon, this lesson is based upon a lot of things. It's based upon the Greek word Ana-strophe, which is a method of conversation. Okay, so let's get right into it. 2 Timothy 2:15. It says, study to show thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman, which is what we are, right? We're workmen. A workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Rightly dividing the word of truth. Because it tells us in the scriptures, here a little and there a little, right? That's how you read the Bible. That's also how you teach the Bible. Here a little and there a little. Precept must be upon precept. Now, when we go in the Greek word for rightly dividing, here it is right here. Let's play the Greek.
Strong's G 3718, arthotameo. Arthotameo.
And keeping in tune with the lesson, I'm going to go right to the point. It says to make straight and smooth. This is the Greek word for rightly dividing. To make straight and smooth, to handle aright. What are we handling? The scriptures, the words of the Lord. His words, right? To teach the truth directly and correctly. So this is how we have to teach the scriptures. We had Great Millstone, and more I'm seeing that is the best way to teach. Now, rather than focusing on the word correctly, which we know we have to teach the word correctly, the main word I want to focus on is directly. What's the method of teaching the truth directly? Well, getting to the point. Now, one of the reasons why one of the ways we get to the point is limiting our words. We don't have to use too many words in teaching the truth directly or getting to the point. We don't have to use too many words. And really our voice is to the elect. Now the Lord said this about the elect. Now really this starts with Yahushai, the scripture here, but seeing that the members of the elect aspire to be like Yahushai, well, this applies to the members of the elect. Yahushai being the first of the elect. The book of Isaiah 11:2, it says, and the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and of fear of the Lord, and shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of the Lord. So the point is, if we're dealing with a member of the elect that has quick understanding, because why? He has the fear of the Lord. He has the Spirit of the Lord. He has the Spirit of wisdom and understanding. He has the Spirit of counsel and might. We shouldn't have to use too many words to convince this individual. We shouldn't have to use too many words. Why? Because he's of quick understanding. Any individual of quick understanding, you don't have to use too many words to convince that individual. So remember, our voice is to the elect. So if you're dealing with an individual that you have to use a whole mountain of words just to convince this guy, then chances are he's not of the elect. And really, in reality, he's nothing but a scoffer and a scorner. Because eventually that's what he's going to show himself to be, a scoffer and a scorner. He's going to scoff and scorn the very words that you're teaching him. Okay? So we should remember that. A potential member of the elect has quick understanding. And anyone that has quick understanding, you don't have to use too many words to convince them. And we want to stay away from using too many words. Why is that? Let me show you why. Because the more words you use, the greater chance you have of saying something either incorrect or stupid. Why is that? Let me show you why. The book of Ecclesiastes 10 and 14, it says, a fool also is full of words. That's why. And it was Elder Apostle Tahar at the camp Saturday who said, when you teach, you want to use as few words possible. And then I added to it by saying, yeah, if you use few words, you have a less chance of saying something incorrect or foolish. But if you use a lot of words, you have a greater chance of saying something incorrect or foolish or both. Okay, so we want to limit our words. And it's based upon the quote. Like I said, this lesson is based upon a quote that Bruce Lee made. And here's the quote. Number 52. Hack away the unessentials. Hack means to cut or chop. Hack away the unessentials. What does it mean to hack away the unessentials? Bruce Lee said this, or Bruce Lee said this. It is not daily increase, but daily decrease. Hack away the unessential. The closer to the source, the less wastage there is. And what this means, the unessential would be the mountain of words. We don't need that. We use words that get right to the point. And that leads us into a method of conversation known as Ana-strophe. Okay, Ana-strophe. Let's get into that. Now, Ana-strophe is based upon the scripture here. Before I read the definition, let me read the scripture which inspired me to go into the word. This is the book of James, the 3rd chapter, the 13th verse. Who is a wise man and endued with knowledge among you? Let him show out of a good conversation, the key word is good, a good conversation, his works with meekness of wisdom. So according to the scripture, what is an example of a good conversation? This is where we go into the Greek and look up good conversation, or rather conversation, which is a good conversation. Let's play the Greek.
Strong's G 391. Ana-strophe. Ana-strophe.
Ana-strophe, right? Manner of life, conduct, behavior, deportment. Now, it doesn't tell us much, but when we look up the word, here's where the light really starts to shed concerning the word. Ana-strophe, which comes from the Greek word for conversation, pursuant to James 3 and 13, right? Well, let's look up the definition. This is the Merriam-Webster. And basically it says inversion of the usual syntactical order of words for rhetorical effect. Now, if you don't understand what that means, let's look up. Okay, let's look up over here. From literary devices, ana-strophe. Ana-strophe is a form of literary device wherein the order of the noun and the adjective in the sentence is exchanged. Hence the meaning of the word, which literally means to turn back or turning back. Okay, right here. Medieval Latin from the Greek, ana-strophe, literally turning back. Right? Turning back. In other words, in the sentence, instead of the normal order in a sentence where the subject is first and then the verb of what the subject is doing is last, it's an inversion of the word or the sentence, of the words of the sentence, where the verb is first and the subject is last. Now let me give you an example. Let's read this here, which will bring in the understanding. Did you know, concerning the word, right? Did you know, powerful you have become, Dooku. The dark sentence, the dark side I sense in you. Fans of Star Wars will recognize Yoda's line in Attack of the Clones. Others might guess that Yoda is the speaker because of the unconventional syntax. Syntax means word or words. That is the hallmark of Yoda's speech. In typical Yoda fashion, the subject is second instead of first. In both clauses, it follows a predicate adjective and the direct object respectfully. The name, now listen good, the name for this kind of syntactical inversion is ana-strophe, from the Greek verb ana-strophen, meaning to turn back. So ana-strophe is where the verb is first and then the subject is latter. And that's a method of getting right to the point. That's a method of direct speech. Like, I'll give you my own example. If I say, scared are you? Scared are you is ana-strophe. The verb is scared. The subject is you. Instead of saying, are you scared? I would say, scared are you? And either you say yes or no. But I'm getting right to the point. That is the point. I'm getting right to the point by saying you're scared. Scared are you? And you like it says here, you'll notice when you watch Star Wars, that's how Yoda spoke. Okay, Yoda spoke that way, getting right to the point. Okay, and check out what I found here. Why what's his name? The creators of Star Wars, George Lucas, why they made Yoda talk like that, because Yoda was supposed to represent a wise teacher. Okay, Yoda was supposed to represent wisdom. Okay, and according to the source here, they said in Star Wars they made Yoda talk like that to give him the appearance of being wise. It is right here. This is from vocabulary.com, ana-strophe. And there's many examples of ana-strophe in the scriptures. Maybe that'll be my next video. Examples of ana-strophe, which is a method of conversation in the scriptures. Okay? And it's simply the best way to teach. Get right to the point. Hack away at the unessentials. Okay? Ana-strophe, when the words in the sentence or phrase are deliberately mixed up, it's called ana-strophe. Using ana-strophe can sometimes make speech sound more formal. Okay, let's see if that's the one. Yeah, this is it. One of the most well-known users of Ana-strophe is the Star Wars character Yoda, whose mixed-up word order makes him sound wise and vaguely like a non-native English speaker. So that's one of the reasons why they had Yoda speak like that. If you ever wondered why Yoda spoke the way he did in the movie Star Wars, that came out of a form called Ana-strophe, which when the Greeks, which were Israelites, of course, Israelites following the Greek fashion, when they engage in conversation, they would use Ana-strophe. In other words, they would get right to the point. And here we see, pursuant to the book of James, the 3rd chapter, that same word Ana-strophe is used for conversation. And notice it says good conversation. Because even in bad conversation, you can use Ana-strophe. You can get right to the point. But our concern is good conversation, which goes back to what? The Holy Scriptures. So when we teach, a good method to employ is Ana-strophe, which is to get right to the point. And that's true. When I first watched Star Wars and listening to Yoda speak, which remember Yoda goes back to Judah. Okay, the character of Yoda really represented Judah, because Yoda is I forgot what kind of form of language, but it's a way of saying Judah, Yoda, which goes back to, in the ancient Hebrew, is Yahweh. Okay, and then when I first heard Yoda speak, I said, yeah, man, he sounds wise, because of the way he was speaking. Well, that's called Ana-strophe. If you didn't know, now you know. It's called Ana-strophe. And it's definitely a good method to employ when teaching Ana-strophe. Get right to the point. In other words, the point comes first in the sentence. Okay? And I believe that's all I have. Yep, that's all I got. All right, so hopefully you brothers were edified by this video. Like I said, it's a method that I'm trying to use in teaching, where I say as few words possible, get right to the point, and most of all, to correctly and directly teach the word. Okay, based upon 2 Timothy 2:15, rightly dividing the word of truth. To recap what was said in this lesson, rightly dividing, there's the Greek word orthotomeo, and what does it say? To make straight and smooth, to handle aright, to teach the truth directly and correctly. Based upon the quote that Bruce Lee made, to hack away at the unessentials. The unessentials in this case would be using a whole lot of words that's unnecessary, especially if you're teaching a potential member of the elect. They'll already be armed with the spirit of wisdom, understanding, and the spirit of quick understanding. Okay? So you don't have to use too many words to convince them. And a good method of speech is Ana-strophe. All right? So there it is. Hope you were edified by this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Shalom for now.